Hey guys and dolls out there in YouTube land, your favorite little keto goofball diamond. Today is day 1156 of my ketogenic journey, going from 311, losing more than 153 pounds so far. If you like to watch that sort of thing, please like, subscribe, share, ring that bell, all that good YouTube jazz that makes me smile and helps this channel grow. Also, I'm going to show you what I ate. I'm going to check my blood glucose, my blood ketones. I'm going to cross match it and get my GKI, and you're going to see all of that. You're also going to be told and talked to about what I ate, how it affected my weigh-in, and what I did that was kind of silly this morning. Let's rant, rave, and misbehave Keto Diamond style.
Three, two, one.
At 4 p.m. I'm having my first breakfast meal, 2 eggs, 2 sausages, 2 cheese, and some pork skins. So I'm breaking my fast with a cheeseburger salad, a little bit of beef, cheese, lettuce, all out of scared him. All right, I got a cheeseburger salad with cheese, lettuce, mayonnaise, mustard, a little bit of organic ketchup, and pork skins. I also had a performance nut butter as I was cooking this, and 1 cheese stick. Calories and macros per MyFitnessPal website. 1,656 calories, 15 grams of total carbohydrates, 145 grams of fat, and 83 grams of protein. The protein is actually not good. It's too low. Plus, 16 grams of that protein came from pork skin, so it doesn't count because it's incomplete protein. I need to get my protein up today. For those of you who don't know, the protein is a very important number. Without it, you will lose your hair, your nails will be brittle, your organs will suffer, and if you don't keep your protein up good enough, they could fail. So protein is probably one of the most important numbers you're going to see in your macros. Homework with 1 attached to 1 hip and 1 attached to the other.
Okay, let's see which one you can. Let's see if you can guess which one.
I'm doing homework right now. Give me a minute. So I pushed my luck a little bit this morning, y'all. I always crank the car about 10-15 minutes for me and Zach go out, especially if it's cold, only if it's cold. But anyway, so it can be defrosted and everything. I'm in the school line, I look down, but oh my goodness. But it's okay, we've made it. We're at a gas station, and it didn't cut off. But I ain't had this thing long enough to know my vehicle yet, so yeah, I pushed it, but it worked out. All right, guys, so I'm going to go ahead and check my ketones this morning. I've been up for right at 4 hours. I am fasted all but my coffee. I left 1 ingredient out of my coffee creamer, which is the vanilla monk fruit sweetener drops. So we're going to see if that has any effect, and it might not. It might. I don't know. I'm about 14 hours fasted. And I'm just going to kind of do a baseline, and then I'll do a, will you do me a favor and go in my room and get my iPhone? Yeah. So I can get that app up. I'm not sure that this sank to the, is in sync with the app. I tried it, but I couldn't really tell anything from it, so she's going to get it, and I'm going to find out real fast. If you hear that a baby girl running around, she's right here. She might be anywhere. I have just washed my hands. Thank you. Oh, come on, don't be a pain in the butt. Here we go. Close my game that I was playing. Open the Keto Mojo app. This is sync device. I've got it on. I hit the sync button. We'll see. She might need a nap. We don't know yet. Readings imported. Okay, so it did work that time. Cool deal. Said readings imported anyway. All right, check mark. So the last time I did it, my GKI was 17. So this, I don't even know if y'all can see this. Wow. Maybe if I do it like that. Okay. So, I hope that's mine, because I did check Corey's last night too. All right, we're going to check our blood sugar first, or glucose levels, whatever you want to call it. Blood sugar. Lights on, made a beep. Oh, hold up. We gotta get some blood first, don't we? Cock that needle. I hate these things. I'm a coward. Now, somebody told me you have to wipe away the first bit of blood. Alright. So we should be doing it right this time. Stick this little thingy-majobber in this little thingy-mabob. Make a beep. Grab some blood. Got some blood. Keep bleeding. This is the blood glucose. 95. Coffee may be having some effect on that. I'm not real sure. Alright. Stick this one in here. Let it beep. Steal some blood. Damn vampires. Give it a minute to start counting down. Now, I know some of y'all told me y'all can't really afford these, and I understand, because if it wasn't sent to me, I wouldn't have it either. But there is a link below for those of you who want one. 0.4. I wonder if it'll tell me what my GKI is on this thing. If anything, it might not be good, because 0.5 is nutritional ketosis. 0.4 is not necessarily a bad thing. It's just not exactly where you want it to be. How do I make it sync now? Remember to always throw your little needles and stuff away in a safe way. We always stick ours in old pop bottles, and you'll fill up a pop bottle before you throw it away or burn it. Well, not burn it. We throw them away. All right. How do I make it sync now? So, all right. Not in a state of nutritional ketosis or going by this ketosis at all, but that's all right. It's a 13.1, I believe it says. But that's all right. Still got ketones. Blood sugar's not crazy high. I'm not upset with that, because at least it's higher than it was yesterday morning. All right, notice I'm in hubby's car today. As prep for our vacation, I'm taking it to get a couple new tires. It's got 2 on the back that's not too old. It's got front and rear new brakes. And we're just trying to make sure everything's prepared for our trip. Which I overestimated what all we could do this week, so something has to be put on next week's list, but it's not ideal because we're going to pay the hotel room with next week's paycheck, so it kind of muddles things a little bit, but hopefully it'll be fine. He made as much as we expected him to make. I just didn't really pay attention to how much I added up to pay this week, so it's not all going to go my way. I'm still hoping for the other room. I check that room availability like every 2 or 3 hours, because the other place is like $130 cheaper than this one, and this is the cheapest one we could find that was available. So I'm still checking, trust me, frequently at that. Luckily I can check online, but so I don't have to call and bug the hell out of the people that work there. However, if I couldn't, I would call and bug the hell out of the people that work there. So okay, let's go ahead and talk about what I ate yesterday. It was pretty good, and I do think that me and Corey have decided to try to avoid those sausage patties for a little bit and see if that brings up our ketone levels. Now, it might not necessarily. There is a lot that goes along with your ketone levels and your level of ketosis. Just because those meters don't have a high reading doesn't necessarily mean you're not utilizing them. Doesn't mean that lady issues aren't approaching, and mine are. I'm getting a little breakout. It's that time. However, I had 2 last month, and I don't know if my body's going to go by the first one or the second one. But since I'm having a small breakout on my chin, which is a typical sign for me, we're going to say it's a possibility at very least. Other than that, I haven't done anything wrong. I took one thing out of my coffee. See, when I make my coffee creamer, and y'all probably getting sick of hearing this, but I fill up a thing of unsweetened vanilla almond milk. I add a half a teaspoon of Lakanto powdered monk fruit sweetener, and I was adding some drops of Lakanto's vanilla sweetener. So I took the vanilla sweetener out. We'll see if that does anything. Technically, monk fruit sweetener shouldn't be affecting me, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's not, because for the vast majority of you, sucralose doesn't affect you, and it does me in a wild sort of way. One day when I'm feeling bold, I think I'm going to try some sucralose with the ketone meter and glucose meter, so you can see what it does. Because yeah, it tears me up, man. It messes me all up, and my weight always goes up with it. But like I said, a lot of you, the vast majority of you, actually seem to be okay with that. However, if you're stalled and you're using sucralose, take it out for a minute, see what happens, or for a week and see what happens. See if your weight fluctuates downward. So my day of eating yesterday was actually great. My carbs were really low. Well, not really low for keto standards, but really low. They were 15, and you know, some people can go as low as 0 carb in a day, or a 0 carb that is seeable. because almost every food, even an egg, has a trace carb in it or a small amount of carbohydrate in it, but not enough for them to have to list. And I think one of you said yesterday, and you're right, that if it's less than half a gram of carb, they don't have to list that. So just because you're zero carb does not necessarily mean you're zero carb, but as close to is healthy and good for you. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do the weigh-in and tell you what dumb thing I did this morning that I didn't even think about. And you guys, super tired. Huh. 160. I can only say lack of sleep, maybe, I don't know. So initially when I saw that I had went up another 0.4, I was kind of sort of upset. I was like, but I didn't do anything wrong yesterday at all, or anything out of the norm, or anything I can't lose with. So what's going on here? Yeah. Well, I rolled out of bed this morning, went to pee, threw on a sweatshirt because it was kind of chilly in the house, and then I stepped on the scale. Usually I always weigh in a tank top and a pair of shorts. So I may have either been the same or went down a little bit. It's hard to say, but I was wearing a heavy sweatshirt instead of a little thin tank top like I normally wear. And I didn't even think about it, and I was a little upset about the weigh-in, and I was like, well, not really upset, but more confused about what I did or not. So, you know, I was really going over my brain. Was there anything? Did I steal one of my grandson's french fries? Anything? And no. And I'm not going to lie to you. You guys usually hear about it. But on occasion, if somebody's got some McDonald's french fries, I'll take them. I'll take one. But try to wait till they're cold, because they're not that good when they're cold. So if I can just hold off till they're cold, I'll eat one and be like, cold. No, I don't want these. But if I mess around and eat a hot, fresh french fry, your girl's liable to just dive right on into the whole pack. So know your triggers. Try to avoid them when you can. I'm not gonna lie, french fries are a trigger for me. And there's other things too, but they're generally not as bad as those, and I don't really know why. And also, and I was telling my grandson this, I'm pretty sure I've told you guys this before. Well, we all have those foods from our childhood that are nostalgic. When it turns cold out like this, when I was younger, my dad always used to take me to parades and stuff, and we'd stop at McDonald's drive-thru and we'd get a chicken nuggets and french fries kids meal, and I would come to the fair or to the parade or to whatever it was in the cool weather and eat that. So now every time it gets cold, my body goes, ooh, chicken nuggets and french fries. Now, it doesn't have a hard time doing that anyway, or that and tomato soup and grilled cheese sandwiches. Or if you get a little sick, chicken noodle soup, some crackers. So these things are nostalgic triggers for me. And I think we all have them. Cereal used to be a big nostalgic trigger for me. But the more and more I'm learning about my body, and that I need to really avoid milk and heavy creams and stuff like that at all costs, the harder, the easier that becomes, that particular trigger becomes. So I'm curious, what was your trigger food? Do you have any nostalgic childhood foods that really kind of get to you at certain times, or certain scents that bring back those memories and you just want to do this, that, or the other? So let me know below. I'm really curious. I also want to know how you did today. How was your keto journey, your foods yesterday? How was your weigh-in today if you weighed? And for some people who are new here, there is a reason why I weigh every day. Scientifically, it is proven that people who weigh every day stay on top of their diets better. They are more likely to think about the foods they're putting into their mouth. And with one of the big studies they did, people who weighed every day tended to either stay the same or lose weight on a regular diet, a regular, normal, standard American diet, than those who did not weigh every day. People who avoided the scale tended to gain 5 pounds within a 2-month period. So yeah, I found that definitely interesting. There was a study that came out today I wanted to talk to y'all about, but I forgot about it. Or that was just posted today. Tag on it. I'll think about it. If I do, I'll bring it up in tomorrow's video. Oh, there's one thing I wanted to bring up. This spot on my arm. I hope you can see it good. I'm driving. I can't really check. Now, I've seen spots like this on older people. You know, they consider them age spots, or when somebody gets older, they hit their arm, and people say, oh, thin skin, stuff like that. I didn't think I was quite old enough for that. And when I first did it, it was much, much darker. Now, it's not a bruise. I had a little mosquito bite near it, but not at the spot. And I was scratching and clawing kind of at my arm, but not that hard, I didn't think. In fact, the mosquito bite didn't turn into much of more than a pin dot. So I took a picture of it and I sent it to my doctor. That's not the first time it's happened. It's happened a couple times over the last several months. And my doctor replied, as I thought she might, with generally, it's not a big deal. It's not generally a problem. However, it is also the sign of very low platelets. And since I've had platelet issues in my past, I need to come in for some blood work. So I've got to set an appointment for that. But the platelet issue I had in the past was the polar opposite. My platelets got too high and they clumped together. So your platelets should be ideally under 400,000. Mine at one point were 1.2 million. They were stuck together, and the doctor looked at me, the oncologist looked at me and said, how have you not had a stroke yet? Because that is quick, hard blood clotting that causes blood clots, could be in the brain, the legs, or anywhere. So they put me on some chemo medicine. What is that? What was that called? Hydroxyurea. And I took that for a while, and then I found keto. And after I started keto and I looked up some more stuff about foods, I took tomatoes out of my diet because the number one food you should avoid is tomatoes. I'm a huge tomato freak. Huge. Not joking. Bushels full, handfuls, especially those baby tomatoes, some salt. Huge. And I always kind of wonder, how am I fat? Man, I eat tomatoes like 24/7. But anyway, I took them out of my diet. And within a very short amount of time, my platelet count came down to normal. And I was able to, well, I had already stopped taking the hydroxyurea. I decided I didn't want to take that anymore. But anyway, this platelet thing would be too low. You wouldn't have enough platelets to clot properly. So they're going to have to do some blood work and, of course, check my platelets and all that. Who knows? We'll see. But somebody asked what I did to my arm yesterday, and I was like, crap, I better probably tell them. But I did, I was proactive with it. I did contact the doctor so soon as I saw it this next time, because I think it's happened twice before now, and it's all been within the last couple of months. And I was starting to think, well, I'm really, maybe people my age have this problem, but I think probably the vast majority of people I see that on are in their 60s. So I don't really know, and I thought it would be safer to check and ask. And I had looked it up and did see that it could be a platelet issue, and having platelet issues in the past, best to ask the doctor. So I got to make that appointment, get that done, hopefully get it done before we go to Gatlinburg. So, and for those of you who are new here, we don't go on vacation much, we don't do much, we don't go much, and we work ourselves to death. So my husband works really hard at a factory, and I work really hard in the home. We are surrounded by people 24/7, so we kind of really need this. And it's just, I'm so waiting for it. I can't wait. All right, so I'm almost to the tire place. I'll let you know how that goes. If there's anything special to tell you, I'll be back in just a minute. So something crazy did happen at Discount Tire. I love them, by the way. I recommend Discount Tire at any point to anybody. Their tires are great. For one, they price match too. So if you find cheaper tires, they put them on cheaper. And they prorate your tires. So if you don't get enough use out of them, they take some off your next set of tires or your next tire. Plus, they have an insurance thing you can buy, which is, I think it's about $16 per tire. But it's really worth it, because I brought a tire up here one time that I had gotten from here, but it wouldn't stay up. And I was like, well, this tire's not that old. You crazy hoochie. Watch where you're going. Anyway, the tire would not stay up, so I took it up here. They kind of come out giggling at me. They replaced it for free like they were supposed to. They said, did you drive this in a demolition derby? I was like, no, why? He said, well, you've got an industrial size staple, 2 screws and a nail in it. I was like, So the property we live on now used to have a big garage. Well, it had a church that was turned into an old garage on it. So there's literally no telling what's in my yard. So the insurance is key for me. Anyway, I thought I'd let you know that. Plus, I just had an experience. They had me pull it into the bay. I stayed in the car. They jacked it up. I guess it's to do with the COVID thing. And while they were at it, they had to use a hammer a lot on my lug nuts. Turns out my lug nuts are swollen. And it's a defect thanks to Ford, which this is a Dodge, so I don't really understand why we got Ford lug nuts or what's going on. Something about them being double walled, having a nut inside them. And it took them forever to get that one front tire off. They started to give up, and right as the dude was telling me, man, we can't do this tire. You're going to have to take it to a mechanic. The tire came off. The lug nut came off. So they told me there's a lawsuit against Ford for the lug nuts, or the design of the lug nuts, that they could disintegrate and cause me problems. So before we go on this trip, I got to talk to the hubster and see if we can't get some lug nuts on here that are not designed that way. Anyway, guys and dolls, that's how my day's going. How is yours? I got to go find a place to pee because, you know, keto. And I peed when I first got there too, by the way. But keto. So, what time is it? If you guys need keto help, I am glad to help everybody. How's your keto journey going? What's going on in your life? I'm curious. I love you and I want to know more about you. Contact me if you need me. Visit KETODIAMOND.com if you need a full foods list and a beginner's guide written out. If you want a playlist of it, there's a playlist on the front of this channel, Keto, How To for Beginners. And of course, I'm glad to answer any questions or concerns you have about your ketogenic journey, and my email address is below. There are ways to support the channel that are greatly appreciated, especially right now. Well, they're always appreciated, period. Big or small, it doesn't matter. It's appreciated. You love, your support, your likes, your comments, all of it's appreciated. And there's ways to do it in the description below anyway. And check out the links for some Shashka bracelets and other really cool stuff. They've got all kinds of colors and designs. Shoot, should have just got gas. I get it later. I don't want to get it right now. Anyway, much love, many prayers. I see you in a while. Bye, y'all.